The next train to depart from platform 3 Good morning, folks. You joined me today in a field in Norfolk. I've driven up from London and I've just found my way to this quite picturesque foot crossing. There's deer over there bounding through the field. It was idyllic until I managed to submerge both of my Doc Martens in cow shit that was piled up, and I went to get my foot out of the cow poo, and I put in more and more and more, and consecutively dunked my feet in poo. But I'm not going to let that ruin my day, because 56098, the reason why I'm here, is on hire to DC, and it's going to be on the sand train from Middleton Towers to Ravenshead Sidings. The smell of cow poo will be long gone after the smell of diesel goes by.
Unfortunately for me, the driver let off the power just before the crossing, so the thrash wasn't as intense, but it was nonetheless still pleasant to see.
This is the scene of the earlier accident.
Moving on from these squelchy circumstances, I head back to my car in the hope that there's some replacement shoes in my boot.
Just looking to see if I have any spare shoes in my car.
Shoe search unsuccessful, I hit the road towards Peterborough, which is bound to be brilliant.
Ooh, 91! Arrived into Peterborough. I almost threw up in my mouth about 3 times due to the smell of my shoes in the enclosed car. Really not good. I may need to pop into a shoe shop somewhere here, as not only does it smell bad, but it looks really bad too. $66,053, basking in the sun there. I'm thinking if I stomp my feet enough, the kind of solidified will fly off.
Yep.
The next train to depart from platform 3 will be the 11:50 LNER service to King's Cross.
Lovely. That's great.
Thank you. So what did that come up? Where did that come up?
So,
Platform 1, 2
1,
and 3?
2 and 3, so the other side.
Station cleaners, please report to the customer information point on platform 1. Station cleaners, please report to the customer information point on platform 1.
Do you think that's to do with my shoes? That's mental.
Yeah.
That's actually mental.
It's going to be tricky. Sick.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Pleasure to meet you, Beth.
And you.
Thank you for the support.
No, that's alright. Can I get a photo with you now?
Well, before I just met Beth, I sat down in the waiting room and the driver, who is changing drivers with the current driver on the Class 56, he recognised me. I said I'm going to be at Syston, and then I'm also going to be at Warrington later. And he said, well, I'll give you some toots. which I'm happy about.
Time for some 56 action at Peterborough.
Come on, mate, let it rip. Let it rip. It didn't even thrash then, that sounded great.
With the grid unleashing full power further up the line, it's time for me to get some fuel for the road ahead.
Please, could I have a giant traditional Cornish steak?
Yeah, is that everything?
Yes, please. Peterborough was crazy. Peterborough was brilliant. I had a great time there. And actually, the whole thing about it not thrashing, like, the big thing is like feeling like the overwhelming sense of power. And when it's going from a standstill, you don't need to hear it reach that full RPM. You can feel the visceral nature of the power. Right, off to Syston now, and I really hope we can make it in time.
I fear I may have hung around at Peterborough for too long, and paired with a particularly wiggly and slow road, I think it's going to be tight.
I was stuck behind a tractor the whole way, and 56098 ran 27 minutes early in the end, so I've missed it at Syston. I'm a bit disappointed, but actually when I come to think about it, my pasty's still warm. I'm at a really good Trainspotting location anyway, and I'm going to see it at Warrington later anyway. I just remembered, this costs $6.99. Too big of a mouthful. That was great. I saw the driver release the horn with lots of enthusiasm and kind of sat back in his seat smiling. It's great to see when drivers also love their job. You know, I'd love to be a train driver one day, but it takes a lot to be a train driver.
I could catch the 56 at Crewe or Stafford, but the timings lend themselves better to catching it at Warrington Bank Quay, where I can 100% see it, and maybe even have time for a lime soda. However, whilst sipping on my lime soda, some disastrous news. The overhead lines just north of Warrington have come down, and no trains can pass until the situation is rectified. I'm miles away from my bed in London, and it's getting quite late. I don't think I'll be able to see 56098 again.
I'm resuming this footage now after having just seen 56098. The wires came down last night, which basically immobilised 56098, and it couldn't move from Warrington Royal Mail Sidings. So I decided to stay the night in a hotel, and I heard that it was running this morning instead. Now I'm going to play the footage from just now. And it's great. It's really great and worth the whole trip in itself.